Hey everybody, thanks for clicking that thumbnail. Welcome to Talking Habs. In this video, I'm going to review the game last night between the Montreal Canadiens at home to the Toronto Maple Leafs, the division-leading Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'm not sure, I think they're second overall in the league. And the Montreal Canadiens, fourth place, struggling, and an unlikely victory for Montreal, although Toronto had been 9-0-1 in their last 10 games, so I had said they're due for a loss, and that's exactly what happened last night. So I'm going to tell you all about it. I got stats, I got my thoughts on the game. Before we get to that though, if you are a Habs fan like I am and you want to see more videos like this, all about the Habs, it's game previews, reviews, live cast hangouts, all kinds of different videos on the Habs. Please subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and that's going to get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. Let's get into the game. Before we get to this, all the stats and stuff, congratulations to our Guess the Score winner. I run a nice little contest during the games. If you guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game, you win a $5 prize directly into your bank account via Interac. And Ray Buckle, he was the winner last night with the 4-2 guess, and Tatar for the first goal. So you know, now you know what happened, kind of. So let's get right into the game. So game started off really quick, and you know, the last time Montreal, well, the last two games Montreal's played, I think it's the last two, they've given up, no, two of the last three. They gave up goals like really early in the game just to start off bang, and that's the opposite of what happened here. So 1:17 into the game, Thomas Tatar gets his 9th goal from Byron and Deneau. Paul Byron playing the right side on the first line. I wasn't really big on that going into the game, but he did play really good game actually, and ends up being one of the stars of the game. So he had a really good game. I was totally wrong on that. So I don't think my record in this game was great, except for the fact that I did say that Toronto was just due for a loss, and Montreal, quite frankly, due for a win. And that's a combination, oftentimes, that produces exactly that. So that's the first goal. Second goal, a power play goal. Finally, Montreal's first power play goal, or only second power play goal in like 7 or 8 games. They've really been kind of slumping there, so good to see them get one. Nick Suzuki, his 8th. On a snipe from from Weber and Drouin. I guess I should kind of describe the goals, right? Yeah, I mean, down to you, Rick. So the first goal, let's go all the way back. Thomas Tatar, the Habs were buzzing the net. Deneau was right in the slot, beautiful, and he gives this backward pass. Tatar's at the side of the net on the left side, and it nicks off a skate or bounces off a skate, and it bounces, I guess a fortuitous bounce, because it bounces right to Tatar. Bit of an open side, and he just puts the puck in pretty easy for him, chip it in. That's the first goal. Second goal, power play goal, like I said. Nick Suzuki with a snipe from the right circle. And it was his second shot because he was standing more like to the edge of the circle. He gets the puck from Weber, takes a shot. I think he misses the net. It comes back around to Weber, again to Suzuki. He comes up just a little bit more, and he snipes one. Beautiful shot, like a laser. And yeah, it was pretty cool. 2 shots from almost the same spot on the same sequence, and he makes it on that second try. So that's the scoring in the first period. First period, Montreal dominated the first period. They played great, and it's what we were nervous about going into the game, that Toronto would do that to them, because the last game, it's exactly what happened. Toronto came out like gangbusters and just dominated Montreal. Now, Montreal came back in the second and did kind of the same thing without scoring any goals to Toronto. And it was like that. So this game was the opposite. Second period comes around, and it's kind of goes the opposite way again, because, right, Toronto comes out. They played pretty good. Montreal was kind of sloppy in the second period and gave up 2 goals. So the Leafs tied it up. And first one is from Matthews, of course. 32nd goal at 9:28. And Suzuki kind of was kind of watching the puck on the left side of the slot there, kind of watching the puck, Marner with the puck, and he allowed Matthews to get in behind him to the side of the net, and a beautiful pass, really, by Marner from the middle of the blue line, middle of the ice, and just straight up to Matthews, and Matthews just like a pretty easy tip-in. So that's what happens. Fourth goal. It's Tavares. So here, two of their big guns get the goals, but still they don't win, which is a good sign, or it was a good thing. 14:57, he gets his 13 from Mikheyev and Hyman. So there's a big scrum in front of the net. Guys banging away at the puck, the defender's trying to get the puck out, and the puck kind of bounces out to, or comes out to Tavares. And he's kind of in the slot, and he puts a backhander through everybody, and I mean, I doubt Allen saw it at all. So, so ties it up, and we're just, as fans, going, oh no, this is just going to be another one of those games. But to Montreal's credit, they get it back, and they get their game back by the end of the second period. And then comes the third, and worried how they come out. But it was a better third. I have to say Montreal had the better of the play in the third, and it ends up with the game. Oh, I forgot a goal. Okay, I'm not editing this, but I forgot a goal. Anderson's game winner, I forgot. Okay, bear with me. 16:22, so before the end of the period. And it's like I said, Montreal got their game back by the end of the second period. And Anderson, his 15th from Kulak, and it was a really nice goal. I forget, here it is. There's a big rebound off of a shot on Allen's pad. Allen makes a pad save. And like a bouncing rebound, it comes right out to Anderson, or right out to near the blue line. Nobody there. Anderson rushes up, gets it, and it starts to fly. And Anderson shows his speed. He's uncatchable. So he flies up there 2-on-1 with Kulak, but he doesn't need Kulak. He takes a beautiful wrister from just outside the slot, I guess you'd call it, or the high slot, and just a laser past Campbell. So beautiful. Go-ahead goal, turns out to be the game winner. And Anderson, just imagine what we do without Anderson. And he just really showcased his speed. And Anderson was just physical and fantastic all night. I'll talk about it after. So now we get to the third period. And the third period, no scoring, more even play, I guess you'd say. But I thought Montreal did have the better of the play there. And it's 3-2, and Toronto pulls the goalie with 2.5 minutes, about 2.5 minutes left. And that's where Tatar, it's not Tatario, that's Tatar with his 10th, an empty netter from Byron and Petrie, and that seals it up with a couple minutes left. Although, they pull the goalie again after that goal, and they try to come back and win it, or just, tie it up. And it was a big ask in 2 minutes to get 2 goals. So it turned out to be a really good game by Montreal. For me, unexpectedly, I called for Toronto really as the winner. And although I did say, listen, Toronto's due for a loss. And that is really what happened here. They played that kind of a game where you could see they just weren't fully there. They showed signs of it in the second period, obviously. But good on Montreal to come back and not get down on themselves, giving up those 2 goals, not playing as well in the second period, and managing to pull that out. And good on them. So Allen was 23 of 25 in the save department for .920 save percentage. Campbell 21 of 24 for an .875 save percentage. I feel for that guy. He had to go in front of the media and take the blame. And I don't know that Campbell was at fault in the loss here. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. I mean, that's what Freddie Anderson was going through. I hope they don't put Jack Campbell through the ringer. He's a good goalie, and he was due for a loss too. 11-0-0. He's due for a loss. I mean, that's what happens. That's how sports work. Okay, shots on goal, 25 each. Face-off percentage, Montreal got it back up to almost even. 51 for Toronto, 51%, 49% for Montreal. Power play, 0 for 2 for Toronto, 1 for 2 for Montreal. So like I said, this time the special teams really helped out. Didn't give up a goal and got one on the power play. Hits there virtually even, 33 for Toronto, 32 for Montreal. Habs 3 stars of the game. Byron with 2 assists. So like I said, before the game started, I said I didn't really like Byron up there. And if Byron's on your first line wing, there's a problem. But it didn't turn out that way. And Byron, they had a good game, lots of chances. He got 2 assists, and just a good game for Byron. Second star, Tatar, 2 goals. Also, a good game. That first line was good tonight. And yeah, Byron kind of gives you that Gallagher, small guy, speedy guy. Doesn't score the same way or that as Gallagher, but still gives you that same kind of look, and it worked. First star Anderson for his goal. It was a game winner, and just like a tenacious forechecker, back checker, just his speed. He just showed everything last night, and he's become an integral part of this team. What would we do right now without Josh Anderson, really? And honorable mention to Romanov. Solid physical game, especially you see that one particular sequence against Matthews. Just physical, pushing him around, and I like to see that. I mean, Romanov is the smaller guy, and just such a physical specimen. Had a great, solid game, stopping guys at the blue line. Some offensive stuff shown, and just a good game by Romanov. Deserves the honorable mention. So this was a fantastically fast start for Montreal. They needed that. They absolutely needed to come out flying in the first. It did sort of drop off as far as the pace, and even at points I said this is kind of a boring game, but when it mattered, they were there and playing well. And there was that drop off in the second, but good on them. We'll get over to here we'll do it now. Character game, because they didn't break down after those 2 goals, right? The drop off in the second, Toronto comes back with 2 goals. And Montreal, I mean, we were worried about it. This is it. It's going to be a flood of goals. And it didn't happen. Montreal turned that around. Anderson got that goal, and it was a different game. So they shook it off and came back strong, and that's a good character game for them. They controlled most of the game, except about 15 minutes in the second. I'll give you that. But the rest of the game, they mostly controlled it, and they earned this victory. The new defensive pairings were better. It was better having Kulak with Weber. They didn't run around in their own end as much. Petrie and Edmondson. Petrie didn't look as bad. There were 1 or 2 plays, but I mean, he looked better. Everything looked better with these new defensive pairings, I think. Leafs were due for a loss, said that. I've got a new take on the 2 new defensemen. Montreal traded for John Merrill from Detroit and Eric Gustafsson from Flyers. So my new take is this. I realized that Gustafsson is kind of a big defensive liability. I thought it was an over-exaggeration from the Flyers fans. It's not. But the thing is, he's strong offensively. So there's a spot for him. So what I think is, no, he might not be the guy playing with Weber. I mean, he might at some point here and there. I think he's a guy you can put in on the power play in offensive situations and face-offs. You don't really want him having defensive starts. More offensive starts and that kind of stuff. Depending on the game, depending on the situation, you're going to have him out there. Now, John Merrill's kind of the other thing. He could be a good fill-in on the third pairing, second pairing. He's going to give you a good defensive game. He can put up minutes. He's not really going to hurt you. And that's what they're looking for going into, the end of the season, into the playoffs. You want defensive guys. You're going to need defensive help. There's going to maybe be an injury. These guys can fill in. And like I said, depending on the game, situations in the game, these could be good guys to have. It really helps. I think this is for what they paid for them. So if they don't even play a minute for what they paid for them, still not really losing anything. So I think this is a good thing for Montreal. Berge was a defenseman. He thinks, and it is true, you can't have too much defense when you're going into the playoffs, and that's what that's about. So I think depending on the game, depending on the situation in the game, it depends on what you're going to see. Merrill can play either side. He played 20 minutes in Detroit. He was the only plus defenseman in Detroit. Not big +2, but I mean, considering how bad the other ones were on the plus minus, this is something, and he was playing on top pair. So this is a guy that can come in here and eat up some minutes when needed, fill in when needed, and if there's an injury, can definitely fill in there. So I think it was good moves by Bergevin. So that's my new take on the D. No, Gustafsson's not the guy that they were really looking for to play with Weber, but depending, maybe he'll end up playing better here. I don't know. He is a defensive liability. Okay, enough on that. So next game is Wednesday. It's in Montreal versus Calgary. So the next 2 games are actually versus Calgary. Yeah, I think that's it. 7 o'clock start. I'll be on the air live cast at 6:35. Hopefully I'll see you there in the live cast. And we just hang out. We talk about hockey. We do have a lot of fun, and have people on and all kinds of stuff like that. So hopefully you'll check that out. And that's it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments on the game, anything I said here, please leave a comment in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you next video. Bye, everybody.